What's up, everybody? We are back at the BE00 TAKE00 Show. I am your co-host, PJ North, and I am back with the one and only, the Fluff, Tebow. Tyler, how you feeling, baby? It's episode 24, my guy.
Dude, how we survived this long?
I can't believe we've really made a lot of progress, right? A lot of things of how we're working on a lot of stuff. I'm ready for Virginia. I think I've got the mic situation figured out. Our post show, it's going to be electric. I'm excited for it.
It's awesome. We were talking about that bowling green. You worked on it for 3 days.
Yeah, but we're getting better. So we're so close. We're so close. All right. Well, we've got a special episode tonight. Obviously, a lot of things to talk about. Drag racing is popping, obviously. But before we get into all that, if you're listening and watching with us live on YouTube, let us know in the chat bleachers. I see Walt's here, Clint's here. Word on the street was Matt Forbes was going to let me know he's here. I don't know if he knows how to use a computer to type into the chat, but if he does, let us know. But also hit that like and subscribe button, man. Help us out. It goes a long way. Obviously, like I said, we're over 500 subscribers now, which is awesome. That's big for us, which is cool, man. We're continuing to make ground. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify next day, let us know that you're enjoying the show or not. Leave us a review. Comment. Let us know what your thoughts are. Go ahead. Shoot it.
Your PJ North music, whatever the hell YouTube that is.
Yeah.
Did it get to 500 this quick?
No, my racing channel, yes. My actual music channel, no. It struggled for it's only got I think I only ever hit 800. I surpassed my regular YouTube with the racing stuff 2 weeks in. It didn't take long at all. As soon as we started putting content, I was like, oh, I get it. That's what they wanted. My bad. That's my fault.
Got it.
Shout out, like I said, to everybody to watching along with us. How you feeling otherwise, man? Your weekend was long. We're going to talk about US 60 a little bit later. How you feeling otherwise? You doing good?
Look, Matt made it.
He did it. We're going to get to it. I love it.
It's good. We're trying to get ready to go racing this weekend, and we went to load stuff, and Joey bought another trailer, and we were like, yeah, we're going to borrow that. It's a stack.
We're going to borrow that.
Yeah, so me and Dad dropped the back door and got to load some shit in it, and the back door was rotted like the wood. So, but we replaced it.
Okay.
So it's ready again. We just set us back 4 hours. So.
That's all right. I love that. Yeah, man. You guys are gonna hit the 50 this weekend, so that'll be exciting. Before we go too far, also I'd like to let y'all know that this week's episode, man, is sponsored by the Twin 50s, which is amazing. The East Coast Twin 50s. That's the Larice Motorsports Insurance Twin 50s presented by Vintage Trailers, and it's happening next week at Petersburg, Virginia, better known as Virginia Motorsports Park. Less than 30 entries remain. Enter now at racederbycity.com. I'm excited for this race. Obviously, we haven't been out there. I think the bottom bulb is going to be really cool because I know that those guys in those Carolina areas, that's their thing. And so I'm excited to see. Hopefully, we'll get some foot breakers out there. I know Big Ern's going to be there. My guy, Ernie Humes. He's going to be there laying down some laps. Tyler Crossno will be there to help us out, which is, if y'all don't know TC, is Tyler Crossno going to fill in? That's my question. Is Tyler Crossno going to fill in for Derek Beach? Our loss of Derek Beach. He's already had a trying weekend at Trails. Is Tyler Crossno going to fill in for Derek Beach? That's what I want to know.
I heard Tyler told me he'd be taking the motor out of his race car, so I don't really know if he will or not. It sounds like Derek got the first big spoonful. So
okay. Well, we'll see. Yeah, poor Derek over at Trail. We'll talk about that maybe. We'll get DB on the show here soon to do all that. All right. Well, before we get into the headlines, man, obviously we've got a special episode. We have a special man. He has been obviously he is the patriarch of the Bohannon racing family. He has treated me like his own for a long time. I'm very thankful and very blessed to bring in Chuck Bohannon. And Chuck, before we do that, I've made this special video, and let's introduce my man Chuck Bohannon.
How about the day that Chuck Bohannon was here?
It's a handicapped start, but only comes to battle on the Christmas tree.
002 like
amazing the way these guys ride.
You won earlier today a $5,000 payday courtesy of Strain Engineering.
And Chuck Bohannon, 10:05, double breakout, pay no attention to that. The truck gets the win with an 0:02 reaction time. Wow. I like your timing, your first super stock national event win at the U.S. Nationals.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, a lot of times you do this stuff and you never think it's going to happen. I just got to thank my family, my dad, my brother, my brand new baby girl, Kayla, my little boy, Tyler, who got to see this. It's an unbelievable feeling.
You want to know how special the U.S. Nationals are? Just look at the faces of these winners.
Absolutely. Yes! Stay with us. We've got to take a commercial break, and we'll have.
Man, the myth, the legend. There's all the cliche things you could say about a dad, but even better, man. Chuck Bohannon. Chuck, thanks for joining us, man. How you feeling?
You got me choked up, brother. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool. I put that together. I told Tyler today I wanted to do something cool that would be just, you know, something interesting for everybody to get to see. And plus it gives me content, right? Like, it's not, let me not say it's not self-serving a little bit. It's content for the video, for the YouTube. So thanks for joining us. We have a ton to talk about. We're going to get into your racing career here shortly, but we wanted your feedback on the headlines because we enjoyed having Brian's feedback on NHRA last week. Someone texted me and said, as soon as you guys started, what was it Jeremiah said? As soon as you started talking about NHRA, Brian slumped back in his chair. I was like, don't let that boy lie to you. He pays attention to that. I don't want to hear that shit. So we're gonna get your feedback. We're gonna kick it off, man. IHRA at Milan. Before we go through the results, Chuck, what's your thoughts on IHRA overall so far after 2 races? Obviously, being close to IHRA back in the day, and I know that you were a big modified supporter. What's your thoughts on it right now?
Well, when I heard IHRA was coming back, I did not have high hopes. It all seemed fantasy. You know, the stories of buying tracks and putting the money into them and improving them. I'll give Tyler credit. From day one, he said, this is legit. It's happening. It's going to be real. The money's real. And I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I was very happy to see that they did get approved attendance at Martin over Columbus. I hope it grows. I think it's awesome. I love that they're putting the money into it. The show is great. I hadn't had a chance to watch a lot, but what I have watched looks really good.
That was our big thing, man. I think the production value that they added is like, especially for that long of a day, it's still a long time, and I don't think people quite understand that. Like, that's a lot that goes into that production piece. I'm making graphics like in between rounds. These guys are making ladders. They're making. It's not easy, and it's not cheap, right? I'm cheap. Comparatively speaking, for Brian and Tyler, I'm very cheap, but to do it on their level, even if it is just live streamed, but it's streamed on, Speed Sport, the Speed Sport 1, the new channel, all that stuff. So like, is not cheap, and their production value, I think, is way up for that. Also, I told Tyler, right now it's the Matt Daddis show. If there was a world championship for Superstock, Matt Daddis would be leading the field right now in his new Sunfire. Have you seen any guys on the lists or anything that you haven't seen in a while? Because I thought I saw some names where I'm like, damn, I didn't even know that guy still raced like stock, super stock, or super gas and super comp. I thought that was kind of cool to see some people pop up.
I didn't even look at a qualifying sheet for stock and super stock. I did see Killer Brooks, one top sportsman.
Yeah,
I have not seen that name in 20 years.
Right.
So it's the last time IHRA, and I'm sure he's raced a lot, but that's the first time that I've seen his name anywhere. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed that part of it too. I think seeing those guys, like I said, just different names showing up and supporting. I see a lot of positive feedback, which is good, because I think once the first person comments like, hey, man, I can't wait to go here. And I can't wait to, Ray Thurston, man, shout out to my guy Ray, because he's a big proponent of, obviously he watches all the races, he goes to races, and he's like, man, I got to go to the next one. Like, these are obviously They're making strides, things like that. Some of the other winners too, obviously Rock Haas, name brand. Like when you get guys that are transitioning over and making that attempt to run it, like Rock Haas is one of those guys that like he's going to NHRA races. He's not going, you know what I mean? Like, so to get him over, I feel like that was a big deal. Aaron Allison, the L-Rods, obviously the L-Rods are IHRA staples from way back too, but I saw that, I think it was Tony or, I know Jamie was in a final at Columbus. So like the L-Rods as a whole, Jacob won. Yeah, he won back to back, right? So
yeah, you know, I think you'll see when you get over towards the Carolinas again, or get a little more east, you'll see a lot of those old IHRA names popping up too. I just think you're in a world where like that was later IHRA guys.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
so
all I know is Steve Furr's liable to get an IHRA check. Steve Furr's collected more IHRA checks than anybody in the history of drag racing, I think. And I just know as soon as
come on now, dog.
You might be right.
I don't even know if he's top 5, but I'll give you a break on that.
Every time I had to, when IHRA was going down, I had to pay that guy a lot. I sent that guy contingency checks all the time. I'm like, damn, this guy don't ever lose. Steve Zorney, shout out to him too, man. Zorney got it done in the truck. Thought that was cool. Aaron Allison, like I said, in stock as well. Sean Pitts won one of the super streets. I just thought it was cool, man. Overall, like I said, IHRA, they continue on. I think their next race, they have the Pro Mod deal, which they've moved from Killcare to Milan, which I don't know the conversation or whatever that is, but good for them. I saw Disco today announced 64 shootout too, bracket race as well. Yeah. So maybe that'll pull some cars. But I'm interested to see where it goes from here. I mean, like I said, we talk to Doug pretty frequently. I feel like the spirits are high on where they go next. I know that, like, obviously everyone's first comment on every IHRA post is, I thought they named Columbus Durana Dragway. And I'm like, brother, there's a reason y'all are behind the keyboard and not at the racetrack. You know what I'm saying? So it be like that sometimes. But IHRA at Milan. What's the next race, Tyler? I think the race for the next like actual Pro-Am or Nitro Outlaw Nitro series is Columbus, right?
I think it's back at Columbus and then 42.
And then Galat's the last one?
Yeah.
Damn, okay. I love that. Taking it back to the Carolinas for the main event. NHRA at Sonoma. Sonoma happened. It was awesome. Trey Vetter was really the all-star of the weekend. I felt like Trey Vetter nearly doubled up. He wins his first national, and then he almost wins his second one right after that. He lost to Dale Green. Val Torres also won, and then Justin Lamb just doing Justin Lamb things, obviously, like I said, in that part. But I want to talk about the pros a little bit before we talk about the sportsmen also. The wreck, the Sean Reed stuff that happened at Seattle, the Wilkerson wreck, and the Buddy Hall wreck. I know that there's a lot of, like, do you follow any of that, like, talk about safety and also? I don't know anything about it.
With the safety truck?
Out of touch.
Okay.
So I'm in the same boat, too. Okay.
I didn't even know about that one. Now, the Sean Reed one in Seattle, did you see it?
He got turned around and hit the wall.
Yeah. Or he blew a tire, but he lost his finger.
He did lose his finger. Okay. Yeah, well, I also know the tire went up into the stands and did hit spectators.
It did. Yeah, and I actually read something somewhere where Sean was like trying to help take care of that for those people and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm not super close to it either. I don't know enough about it, but I just wondered if you guys had feedback. The other big piece too is the Stanfield final. Elite gets their first win of the year, but how cool is that to see father-son in the final? I thought that was amazing.
I feel like that's the pinnacle of like swinging dick.
Yeah.
When you get the pro stock final.
Yeah, you get to run your kid. Oh, not only am I here, do you run your kid in the final? And Aaron put down a lap too.
Yeah, I will not lose to my dad in pro stock. I did lose in super stock. I'm not doing it.
Oh, you want to run pro stock? Yeah, man, I'd love to. Well, your dad's gonna be in the other lane. Andy has the faster car. I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it.
I'm out. You do it.
You figure out how to make that happen, and I'll trade you cars.
But I got to show you a video of the Buddy Hall wreck real quick because,
yeah. So the Buddy Hall one's pretty crazy too because it just like grenades. He tags the wall obviously, and then it grenades. And Wilkerson had so the whole thing is I didn't read the Wilkerson article, but my thing was he had some questions about the safety things about it. And my thing is like, what you're in a, I don't know what else they can possibly do already that they're not already doing. You're talking about 10,000 horsepower in this combustible chamber, and you're lighting a flame and pouring gasoline on it at the same time. Like, I don't know what else they can do.
Did they edit it out of the video they posted?
Which one?
They edited it out of the video they posted. Oh, you assholes.
What was it?
There you go. This one probably had it. So they edited out the part where he about took out the safety safari.
Oh, at the turn? You talking about at the turnoff?
Yeah, like it was dangerously close.
They were trying to get there quick, right, to prove a point. I guess I don't know.
Keep looking up at the screen.
Yeah, because I can't see it. I'll have to think. Like I said, I haven't watched it. But I saw it. Obviously, I saw the clips. I didn't see the thing with the safety safari. But I do think, like I said, there's a lot with the pros that I can't wrap my head around any of it, because I think obviously they're going. I don't know that. Obviously, Brittany Force set a new record too, right? She went 342. Like, that doesn't impress me. Like, I was cool with 330. I don't really get the whole moving it forward thing. So obviously,
safety out the turn, like they're right here.
Okay.
And they get like straight out in front of him, and then they realize, oh shit, this thing's coming at me.
Oh, and he
like,
can't stop.
Out. Yeah, no, he can't even see it. Sure.
Damn. Well, I'm glad he's okay. I do know that he's okay. Minimal injuries. Chuck, what's your thoughts on just the pros? Like you said, you're out of touch of it a little bit, but do you still get excited about when you see records? It doesn't excite me. I'll just say that. Like I'm not super into the records thing. I'm more into like the competitive racing when you have two pair go down one after another and they're close, right? Right now it's not in that ballpark at all. So what's your thoughts on the pro thing right now and where they're at?
I'm a sportsman racer, so I watch 2 or 3 pairs of pro cars, fuel cars in a weekend's time, and I'm over it.
Yeah.
And, to be honest, I used to be all about pro stock. I loved it. I mean, I paid attention, very close attention to it. But to be honest, the whole KB elite thing, I'm just not into it. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, there's no Ford, there's no Dodges. It's just, those two teams with 6 or 7 drivers in each a piece, and it just doesn't have any appeal to me anymore.
Makes sense.
They could get the Kenny Delcos of the world to like just stick them in the mix, like stick Kenny Delco at number 6 qualifier.
Yeah.
Right, and then stick like. Not that it'll ever happen or that he'll get there, but if you stuck the 3 guys that go to all these races just to bang gears in like the 5-hole, the 8-hole, and the 11, that would make it better. Like it's just like you pretty much like if you gave me every race's 16-car pro stock ladder, you could pretty much fill it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the thing, and that's what makes it tough right now is that they're just and they are obviously getting closer, right? They beat them, and they finally won one this. Now it's almost better. It's a little too late, right? But I do wish that like the McGahays had a better opportunity at it, and I wish that we did see Delco and Hartford's, and Hartford obviously has got a KB motor, but you know what I mean, like all that stuff. Like there are those other teams, Brandon Miller and those guys making a concerted effort at it. I do wish that there was some sort of like way to get them in it, right? Because it's like I don't want to see. No offense, man. We like Dallas a lot. Big Dallas Glen fans, but I'm not gonna watch it if it's just Greg Anderson and Dallas and them winning every weekend. That's not super fun for me. Which is like whatever. But it's interesting. Like they have 2 weeks off and then they head to Brainerd for that, and we'll talk a little bit about the pro points. Shout out to Sean Langdon, obviously, and I do want to give a shout out to Spencer Hyde. He got by because he was in the semis and Jack Beckman crossed the center line. And I saw Spencer Hyde made it to the final, but I thought that was kind of cool. That's his second one. But Jim Head, my favorite part, they interviewed Jim Head afterwards, and he's like, yeah, I'm not really big into the points thing. That's more, I'm like, aren't you the car owner? Shouldn't you first thing be like, yeah, we're fixing to mess up anybody ahead of us in points, we're coming after that ass. Like, he was just like, I don't really care about the points thing. We're just trying to go down the racetrack. I'm like, way to go, Jim. Thanks, man. Really get me excited for it. But, NHRA at Sonoma. So we'll see what happens with the points start to shake up a little bit, obviously, as we go through it. But US 60, Little Bucks. Before we talk about winners, I want to talk about, Chuck, what did you do to the wagon? Because all of a sudden now it's doing a super stock wheel stand. and it's the cool. It was already the coolest race car at the racetrack. Look, I've said this. It's my favorite paint job. That on any other car wins best appearing at every national event, even on that car, but it just never goes. But what did you do to make it do that wheel stand? If y'all haven't seen it, look at the video. I think Kayla posted it, I think, this week, so y'all should look it up. But what'd you do to it?
So it's the magic transmission. And I believe this transmission, through talking to Wayne, Bilbery, the guy that works on it, my trans stuff for us, we think that is our last leftover super stock trans, and it's loaded with Rossler parts.
Hell
but,
yeah! Can I borrow it or no?
Not that one.
Not that slow. He said, can't do magic. Oh, okay, got it.
Kayla was anti-wheelie before that run, and that was literally the first run after changing the transmission. I cranked the shocks down enough to where I thought it was right, and it did a 100-footer. So she came back screaming and yelling. She was very happy. So
it was awesome.
That transmission stays in it, but it's just something about the parts in it. It was built with the same parts on the same workbench by the same guy, but it's something about it's just really good.
It's the same one that was in my Chevy too when Josh tried to go over backwards and crashed it.
Okay. I got you.
It's something about it. I don't know.
Yeah, something obviously.
Same low gear, converters built on the same workbench by the same guy on the same day, kind of,
Yeah. I am not exaggerating when I say it was the definition of on the bumper. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I wish I could load the video and do it. It's unbelievable. It was crazy. I thought that was really cool. Tyler, overall, how was the weekend at US 60?
We were a little low on cars, but I was pumped. Like,
it was 6,000 degrees outside.
It's 6,000 degrees. There's a 5, 5, 2 hours away. There's another 5, 2 hours away. There's another 5 an hour away. So, we get 2 5-granders, and you could have raced for $5,000 within 2 hours of us at 3 different places.
Yeah.
And, between being hot and having that, 115 cars was like, hell yeah. That was awesome. And,
yeah.
we still had the same quality.
Yeah, I saw the cars. Like I said, I think the Oakleys did a little split and quit on Friday in the 5K final. Also, y'all had a points race on Friday, which I did not know about. So I was completely thrown off when I saw all these other results. I was so confused what was transpiring. But
that was my idea, so I apologize to everybody.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, they got it done. The race got over with. It happened. You needed to get a points race in because also it's rained nonstop. That's the other piece of it, right? It's rained just constantly throughout the Midwest. So I saw, like I said, Oakley's split and quit on Friday. And then I think LeRae won on Saturday. And then Jay won on Sunday. Is that right? Or Phillip won on Sunday?
Hunter Davis beat Phillip.
Okay, Hunter Davis beat Phillip. And shout out to wife of the pod.
Was it 4? 7. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of how many were left there. Shout out to the wife of the pod, Megan. She crushed it. And then Shauna Whitworth also crushed it. She got down to the semis on Sunday.
So I guess I said the quality of the racing was the same as it always is. Megan was the last double on Saturday and lost it the round before the ladder. Abby lost the round before the ladder on Saturday.
Hell yeah.
Kayla and Shauna ran each other on the ladder Sunday. Like,
That's
everybody
sick.
had a day.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
See, that's what I like to hear. And look, man, sometimes you got to have those to build momentum moving on to the next. Like, sometimes you got to have those races where because it's like golf. It only takes one to keep you coming back. You know what I'm saying? But if I get my head kicked in every weekend, I'm kind of over it. And I'm at that point with my Chevelle, so I get it. That's good. I'm glad the race went off, like I said, without relative hitch. I know that there, like I said, 100+ cars is still, for a $5,000 for 2 5s is like still pretty good, man. Especially like I said, it was literally 1,000 degrees on Saturday. The humidity when I went to Bowling Green on Sunday. I picked up my race car. Shout out to Trevor Wiggins, who finally got it done, and I finally got to return the fuel regulator back to Kelt. So I was really happy about that because that was wearing me out. Then to find out Kelt ain't even been racing Kelt's like, oh, no, I ain't even been to the racetrack since Bowling Green. I'm like, damn you. But it was like literally 80 some odd degrees, which is that's not hot. I'm not worried about that. But it was like 79% humidity when I was making a lap. I was like, this isn't even fun right now for me. None of my friends are here. We're parked out in the grass, and there's like 50 cars, maybe 60 cars at Bowling Green on Sunday. So you're talking about spreading out all those people within 200 miles, like realistically, right? Let's talk. It's 150 miles between all of them. Those are all your entries, right? Realistically, from your race.
And it's a mistake. Like, it won't happen often. That's just a mistake on my part. And Brock probably already had his out. And, Ryan kind of came into that deal mid-year, so he's dealing with what he was dealt. We had to talk about it, a month ago. So I think it worked out for all of us as good as it could.
Yeah, I mean, I did see the door car battle, too. I thought that was kind of cool. They did that at Beacon. Ryan Fry's running that. I saw Edmund won on Sunday, beat Caleb Redeker. I didn't see any of the other finals, though, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I don't follow Beacon that closely. Obviously, I'm with US 60, I see it a lot more. But sounds like they had good cars there. So
I think Todd won that, but I did miss it, too.
Cincinnati won in the wagon. You are right. I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that. So yeah, man, a lot of things happening. Obviously, one headline that just came up too before we move on to Chuck. We're going to talk all about Chuck. Chuck's going to tell us all the good stories about how they used to cheat. But before we do that, Darlington just got bought by some guy who does no prep. I don't know him. I do know that Logan Paul, I think, works for him, but I don't know the guy. But Darlington just got sold today, supposedly. So I do know that I saw Jeff Miles has kind of been out of it. I don't know if Bear's still working there or what the deal is. Darlington is a staple as far as I'm concerned, right? It's a NASCAR staple. It's a drag racing staple. They've got to figure out how to keep that thing alive, and we got to figure out what it needs to thrive, right? I don't know if it needs to be a part of IHRA again or if NHRA or whatever it needs to do.
Hell yeah, it needs to be a part of the IHRA again.
That would be sick, right? I mean, we could have we'd have the Winston. We don't even need Winston to actually sponsor it. We'll just call it the Winston World Finals in October at Darlington. Call me up if you need some help. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. Huh?
The Invitational.
They had an open there back in the day.
That was a rocking. Yeah.
So I don't know. John Dock. Thank you, Jason. John Dock is the guy's name. I don't know who that is. But like I said, I did see that came through. Have you ever been to Darlington, Chuck? Many a time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of all memories in drag racing become good memories, even if they started out bad.
Yeah.
And Gina's had some rough Darlington stories. But the first national event, IHRA national event, used to be at Darlington in like the 1st of March.
Okay.
And the weather was always questionable. It was always ungodly fast.
Hell yeah.
We went just because we like to flex.
Yeah.
And fast. There was a snowstorm that hit north of there one year coming home, and this was like on Friday afternoon. We made the first qualifying shot. We're number 2. It's beautiful. The sun's out. It's 65 degrees. And they announce we're postponing, canceling the race because there's a huge winter storm coming through. This was before social media.
Right. So you had to wait. The racetrack had to tell you, right?
Yeah. I mean, they told us. So, 90% of people start heading north and they get stuck on I-26 for 4 days.
Oh, shit.
My dad, being the guy that he was, he didn't stop. We just drove to Atlanta.
Never
got
checked
stuck
up.
in Atlanta for 3 days. Yeah.
That's incredible. I love that.
The first national event I ever raced at was with the Chevy 2 Tyler has right now at Darlington, 1992.
That's cool. What class? Super stock, I automatic or H automatic?
A automatic.
A automatic?
A.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
K. I was like, where the hell he get an A at? I was like, damn, this motherfucker. I was like, I don't know what combo that was. That sounded like some bullshit. I love that.
Did they even 10 seconds?
Yeah, it was fast. I went like 10:75. I lost to Mark Young in the semifinals.
Oh, he's a cheat, man.
Lost to Mark Young in the semifinals, and Larry Kopic won. Beat him in the final.
That is awesome. Well, that's a perfect segue into into talking about you. Talk a little bit about, obviously, if you guys don't know, this is obviously Tyler's father. But Chuck is a legacy. You're second gen, right? Obviously, Big Charlie raced as well, so you're second gen racer. But what was tell the story, Tyler's told me the story, but tell the story about you going to the racetrack for the first time and how that kind of led to where we are now.
So my first daily driver was a 4-cylinder, 4-speed Opel GT. And when I first started driving, my dad was not racing at the time. He had quit for a few years. And Ohio Valley had been racing on Wednesday nights for a couple of years. And they had a gambler's race on Wednesday night. I think it was $5 to enter. And I was going on Wednesday nights and running that gambler's race, and I wasn't telling them. And I had won a couple of them. And Thursday morning, I was driving to school, and the rear end falls out of this car. And this was before cell phones. This is 1986. Before cell phones, I had to go knock on somebody's door. Can I borrow your phone? Call my dad, call my mom, actually, who was, she was at home. She beeps my dad on a beeper. He comes and gets me with a trailer we had. And on the way home, he says, I guess if we're going to do this, we're going to have to get some better equipment and do it right. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, your mom and I were in the stands. We seen you. We watched your race last night. So yeah, that was, and I drug him back into it full tilt.
We love that.
Hauler and a trailer and another race car, and started on another race car within a month.
That's amazing. Did you guys, obviously, right? So you started with the Opel. Did you move in? Was the first race car then the Nova after that, or did you have something before that?
So he had a driver that was a 55 two-door post.
Oh, okay.
Still a local car to this day, and
that's
I'll
the one
that
what's his name owns, right? Tyler, we talked about this.
Morris.
Yeah,
it's part of the Morris family now. It's their car.
Yeah,
but that was my first race car, and raced it for I don't know a couple of years, and we parked it, and they came and bought it. I don't know. Yeah.
Did he buy it straight or did
he bought it?
Yeah.
Red's had it since.
That's cool.
Mikey came. I think Frankie and Red, and maybe I don't know, but they
look like a gang. I just imagine them all showing up with white T-shirts and blue work pants, and you can't tell none of them apart at that age. My theory is in the 80s or early 90s that they all looked alike, and you could not tell them apart. And they just showed up with a duffel bag full of money and gave you it for this 55. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Red looks different. You can tell that he's related, but he definitely is the only one that you can definitely tell is different.
Well, there's still 7. Yeah, they're massive. There's still 80 of them that race. If they were to stop racing, Ohio Valley would cease to exist. There's not enough Bohannans to race at Ohio. If the Morrises stopped racing today, that would be it. Terry and team would have to pack it up. That'd be all she wrote, because they're everywhere every time we go, and they're all very successful, which is cool.
4 brothers.
So there was a Jimmy who passed away several years ago. I think he had a Malibu convertible that was a stalker.
A Malibu convertible?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like a 64.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I was like, damn. Okay, when they make these, gotcha.
Yeah. Like a 64.
Very cool.
I think Mikey is the second. Frankie and TC, Bobby, Red. They're sisters too.
Yeah. We're gonna get the whole family tree out. We thought about getting them on the show, but we don't have a camera wide panned enough to get them all in the show. So we'll have to break it up into episodes with the Morris family. What was your first? So when your dad, obviously, he was a bricklayer too, right? I mean, you guys were not bricklayers, but actual, I don't even, whatever you'll call the business now, but that y'all have been doing that forever, right?
Yes. He was a union bricklayer until the mid-'70s when he started on his own. So.
Yeah. So when he did that, did he know how to fabricate, and that's why y'all started building race cars, or that was you like, hey, man, we need to do some shit? or that was Joey's idea. Like, hey man, I got these ideas. Maybe I think that's been Joey's signal all the time. Hey, I got this great idea. No, I don't want to drive it, but I got this brilliant idea. Is that how it started, or how did y'all get into the car building?
You kids, you guys won't know who MacGyver is. Do you know who MacGyver is?
I do know who MacGyver is because of my brother.
So my dad has been described as the MacGyver of drag racing. So, he didn't pay anybody to do anything that he thought he could do on his own.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, I mean, he bought it, he built it, and he made it on his own. And, he taught my brother how to do this stuff. And we, I talk about this all the time, but I wonder what my dad would think about where Tyler has taken, Bohannon racing. And at the same, we took it, my brother and I have taken it to a level far beyond what he ever expected. And now Tyler is light years beyond that.
times 3. Tyler's like, not only do I love the new Bohannon racing, but I want to have every car that Grandpa has ever touched as well. So we just got to need a bigger barn.
Yeah, my brother, he goes out and finds them too and drags them in here. But yeah, I mean, my dad taught me pretty much everything I know about racing that I hadn't picked up over the years on my own. But all the shop stuff, the garage stuff, welding, fabricating, putting things together, I learned from him.
Was the Nova was the 66 that Tyler 60 is it 66 Tyler 7?
Yeah.
So is that the first like race car that you guys built, and like it was like, hey, this is a super stock. This is what we're doing. The super stock.
It was the first super stocker we built.
Okay, and then the Camaro followed. Did the 3rd gen follow after that?
Man,
they had built like 5 cars in between the 55 and where you're at.
Yeah.
Shit.
Okay. There was a
including
55.
dragging the top fuel car out of the school bus and junking it.
Yeah. So
let's hold on. Whoa. Let's stop and just tell that story because I don't know it, and everybody here wants to hear it. And I'm just gonna preface this chapter for Spotify. Spotify does auto chapters. I'm gonna just preface the story with top fueler gets dragged by school bus. Go ahead, tell the story.
So everybody's heard of Dale Funk and Kentucky Moonshiner, right? So I mean, that was a top fuel team based in Louisville. And I mean, they competed. They won the Gator Nationals.
That's cool.
They won, I believe, the Spring Nationals. Qualify. I mean, the dudes were legit badasses. And it was Frakes, Funk, and English. Dale Funk, Bill Frakes, and Bill English, I think. But anyway, my dad knew these guys.
Okay.
And they had quit. They weren't racing anymore. And Frakes owned a junkyard in E-Town, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. And my dad drives down there, and he's in his work truck, and I'm with him, and he just pulls in. We had been racing this 55 for a little while.
Sure.
He pulls in. Hey, what's going on, Charlie? How you been? Oh, pretty good. You got, what you got around here left over for race cars? And he said, there's a couple of chassis out there and some body parts. I think they're still in that old school bus over there if you want to go look at it. And literally, I mean, we opened the back door on this school bus and wasps and, shit's going everywhere. And right in the middle of this thing is a chromoly top fuel chassis. And we drag it out of the school bus and load it in the truck, the front end's up above the cab and the back end's hanging off the back of the truck. And we load this thing up, take it home and make a bracket car out of it.
That is incredible.
Third.
So Dale Funk in 1975 wins the Gator Nationals, and what did he do here? Oh yeah, sorry. It's 1975 when he's doing this. I just happened to pull it up. Pretty interesting, man. That's pretty cool, dude. That is a wild story, and y'all turned it into a bracket car. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Sean Langdon do that. Huh? Yeah, how about that, Sean? There's a challenge for you. Why don't you take one of those 275 long some bitches and let's see if you can lay down that lap, okay? That's awesome.
Early days of the lay boxes, too, wasn't it?
So, yes, that car had a box in it. This was 1988, 1989.
Did you race on 5 volts?
I did. The first year I raced,
I didn't know that.
Hey,
first
they
year I
giving them all
raced,
types of time to figure it out. Yeah, you just see some bitch done let go on the top one, missed it.
Yeah.
Fuck, I better grab a hold of something else. I got 5 balls for this motherfucker to take off.
if I'm going to bracket race a lot and they want me to bump down or bump up, they're definitely going to have to go back to a 5-ball series because I can't.
Need
There's
some
no way.
time to figure it out. That's incredible.
Yeah, is there any way I can let go and you can put it on pause for a second while I decide what I need to do here?
That's amazing. What was driving those early dragsters like versus, you know, the last, because I mean the last car you drove, and we're talking a little bit, we're gonna obviously get into IHRA and NHRA stuff, but the last dragster you drove was the comp dragster, or have you driven something in between or after that too?
I drove a couple of Towers cars.
So what was that early dragster like? Just like, I'm sure you can think about some runs you made in that old one, and you're just like, compared to the new dragster, what was that even like?
It was terrifying. You know, there are obviously no suspensions. The tires were balloons, literally, 33 inches tall, 10-inch wide balloons, and the car weighed 1,400 pounds. And you know, what IHRA is doing now is amazing because they're buying super nice facilities.
Yeah.
The old IHRA, they were dumps.
Yeah.
You know, rough, beat you to death. I won the Spring Nationals at Bristol, and there's a video of that. And I mean, it's you can hear the motor going up and down in the car in the lights in the video because it's beat me to death so bad.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What was what's the fastest lap you went in one of those older dragsters? Like back then, like what was like a fast lap for you back then?
They were 7-second quarter-mile cars. They'd run 170.
That is absurd.
We went some 770s on the quarter.
That's pretty cool.
Joey tried the first run Joey made it one. He was like, I want to drive the dragster. And so he gets in this thing and he like about crashes it or whatever, sets the record.
Yeah.
With the second run's the one where he almost like,
he swapped lanes in the shutdown area.
Like
the second run, is this in the modified car?
This is in the car that's in the shop. Right
okay,
now.
the modified car. Yeah, the comp car. Okay.
I think he won the Spring Nationals in it. But I guess like he crosses the finish line 90 degrees. Okay?
Yeah.
Just crossing the racetrack, and right before he hits the wall, he finally gets to shoot out and it whips this thing back around. He sets the record, and like when they got down to him, he was like, "You can have it, son, bitch. I'm done with it."
Yeah, I had the Camaro there, the third gen there, running super stock with it, and I mean, my dad was standing on the starting line with me, watching him, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And my dad was like, "I know, bub, I know." And we're riding down on the golf cart to pick him up, and I'm like, "I don't think we should say anything to him." And Dad said, "You're right. You're right. We'll just let him do whatever he wants." And we pull up on a golf cart. He says, "You can have this son of a bitch. I'm done." Yeah.
He is.
I'm driving the Camaro.
What a great story to be able to race with, you and your brother and dad be able to do the IHRA stuff. Getting into the IHRA thing. Obviously multi wins in that. You guys hammered them and modified and super stock and all that stuff. What were those years like, traveling around with your dad and your brother, running those classes?
It was a blast. I mean, I won't say it was the best years of racing. I got kids now, and these guys, I love watching them race more than I do my own. But great memories. Memories. I mean, we raced a lot with Bo back then. He raced, hung out with him a lot. Monty, Joe, Anthony. It was super competitive. I mean, you had to have your shit together to turn on win lights, and we didn't win as much as most, but we won our share.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. I mean, the go fast part of it was really more important to us back then. We were all about, kicking somebody's ass. I mean, there was a handful of cars in that class. And my dad and my brother more than myself, but I mean, they lived to pound their chest. I mean, my dad was real quiet about it. I mean, he wouldn't
I could just
He didn't
imagine
show
him
it.
fucking somebody up too tense, right? He just looks over at the other crew chief, just winks at him, and walks off.
Yeah.
What a dick! It's like, what a dick! The guy crushed
He was
us.
never shit to fight.
No.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many stories about my dad. I mean, we were at Bristol one year, and I was in the altar, and they were pulling me to the starting line. Gina was on the golf cart beside my dad, pregnant with this, and you know, we're coming out of the bottom of the hill at Bristol, coming up like headed into the staging lanes, and this guy is coming at my dad on a 4-wheeler, and he won't move, and I'm in the, I can see this happening in front of me, and they're gonna hit, and my dad is on the wood. I'm locked down, brakes locked down. He's dragging me sideways, and then this guy stops right in front of me, and he rams him, standing up as he hits him, ready to fight. And Gina's flying off the golf cart, pregnant with Tyler. It's probably what's wrong with you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, he didn't get dropped on his head as a kid. He got dropped on his head before he ever made it out.
Yeah, but I'm climbing out of the car, trying to get between them two. Dina's picking herself up off the floor. I think my brother was behind us.
So hold on, what was the actual fight? Why was this guy not moving in the 4-wheeler?
Well, to this day, I don't know. I can't even remember who it was. I didn't know at the time, but yeah, I don't know. He might have. I can't say he was looking at a cell phone because they didn't exist.
Yeah, damn sure wasn't doing that. But that is crazy, man. That is wild.
Yeah.
What
The
was
wildest part of that story to me, still to this day? How about that fucking golf cart?
Yeah.
Huh? It was dragging an altar with the brakes locked in.
Yeah.
Hey man, they had that altered only weighed about 1,090 pounds with Chuck in it to run fucking modified. With the,
I was looking at a qualifying sheet the other day, like we were talking about this. I was like, I'm gonna look at some of those IHRA qualifying sheets, like one of the later ones, because you can't go back too far. But
right,
they capped the field by 3/10 at Norwalk one year.
Yeah.
The field.
It was a full field. We had the altered, and we went up there. The number 2 qualifier was John Bowman. I think he ran demodified production.
He went a second under.
He went 97 or 98 under. We went 120, 121 under.
what was that? So we always do the combo of the week, or we talk about the drivers. Tell us a little bit about that combo that you ran in that. What was the motor? What was the deal with that?
So it was Steve Ambrose. It was his motor basically. They had gone to a one-piece billet head. This was the last hybrid head deal. It was for inline Ford.
I was gonna say it's
cubic inch.
okay. Got it. Inline 4. Got it.
Inline 6-cylinder Ford, 300 cubic inch, mechanically fuel injected.
Holy shit!
I think we went 8.0s with it.
You think you could make it run right now if I pulled one? We'll pull one out of the junkyard right now. You think you can make it run?
You don't need to pull one out of the junkyard. I got one in the shop still.
Is that the one that's on the stand? Is that the last one that's on the stand? Okay, cool. Yeah, I love that.
One of them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What was your favorite car that you ran in your IHRA, like during your because obviously you guys didn't transition, modified didn't transition to NHRA, right? So you guys kind of ran that. What was your favorite IHRA car that you ran over the time that you ran those?
Talking about the IHRA car though is like how I am right now. Like they had it. Like my grandpa, from the time that Dad decided to go racing until he was my age now.
Yeah.
Like they had bracket cars and they had class cars.
Sure.
You know, and they had super stockers, they had modifieds, and they had bracket cars. Because my grandpa would build a race car. Like he'd say on Monday he wanted to build a race car, and then 6 months after that, it was on the track.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. I love that. I wish me and you could do that, Tyler. What the hell? Why didn't we get any of those skills?
The altered was in my opinion the coolest car. I mean, the motor was. I mean, it was that my dad hand fabricated. The intake manifold hand fabricated.
You built that.
The header hand fabricated. You know,
wow.
we hand fabricated that. A lot of help. It was a Spitzer car. Yeah, 4-link. Really cool. Really nice car. Carbon body. But it was feared. I mean, especially around here. You know, that car. You know, combo was popular. They'd run combo at Ohio Valley. It might have been every Saturday, but you can run a modified class with the combo because they were IHRA sanctioned.
Oh, got it. So the modified production stuff. Okay, damn.
Yeah. I mean,
so you bracket race this altered. That's kind of fun. Yeah.
And I mean, it was capable. I mean, we could run the hell out of it. And, you know, I was running with guys that were running anywhere between 750 and a stocker to 6 flat and a super stocker, and I'm down 550s.
That's incredible.
So it was a fun car.
It wasn't a total pile of shit consistency.
No, it was badass. Yeah, I mean, it was really good.
What made you guys get rid of? You guys don't have the altered, right? Why'd you guys get rid of that one?
We transitioned, and I don't know if it was seeing the writing on the wall with modified.
Okay.
There was one individual in IHRA who bitterly hated modified, and he had pull, and he was in charge of the tech department, and I could see the writing on the wall. My dad and my brother, they pushed back more than I did.
Sure,
I could see it. And, I started super stock racing earlier than they did.
Why would y'all not and was it just a cost thing? Was comp too far along at that point? Like, I don't know. You already had super stockers. Like, what was the
cost? Yeah, we always just. I never wanted to spend that kind of money to go racing.
I didn't know if it did then too.
Yeah, you know? What would it have done? Like, so if you tried to put that altered in comp, what would you have had to? You'd have gone like way faster than you were already going. Is that like it
ran it harder? I mean, you know, the same parts that we combo raced on Saturday night aren't going to be good.
I got you. Okay. Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be starting over. Obviously, the car was great, but you know, the motor program would have to been stepped up a bunch.
I can't wait for me and Tyler to get that car back. Tyler, where's it at? Do you know where that altered is now?
Yeah, it went to Cincinnati. Ben Browder in Cincinnati.
Charlie Eaglin was the last guy who had it.
He still does.
Yeah, he was another old IHRA modified racer from
I gotcha.
Was that the blower on shit?
Yeah.
Remember that guy that came up to us at Columbus? We're at trails. He was racing. I wasn't even old enough, but I remember this guy coming up to us and telling us that this thing had like this big blown fucking alcohol motor in it or something, big ass.
All right, I can't wait till we got to find it, man. If anybody knows where this altered is, Charlie Eden, that's the last guy who had it, so we need to know. Charlie, we need it. That's crazy. So transitioning obviously into the NHRA stuff, and you guys were running super stock obviously in IHRA, but transitioning over to NHRA, what was that like during the time when you guys were doing? Because obviously, you know, I grew up at Columbus, and so my experience with stock, super stock, I only knew Bob Marshall, Terry McGee, Brian Merkel. I didn't know anybody else. I didn't understand the class. I didn't get it, but I thought it was cool as shit. And so it was just different for us, right? For NHRA. And as I got, you know, when I was growing up, you know, and we would go to the spring nationals in Columbus, but I didn't know anything about it, right? I was so young at the time. I didn't know much about the sport. I just kind of enjoyed being around race cars and doing all that stuff. But what was that like for you to transition from IHRA to NHRA? And was it, or were you already doing kind of both? And so you just kind of like, we're just going to stop running IHRA? Is that kind of how it worked? Or were you like, all right, we're going to switch and it's a different game?
It wasn't a hard line. I had run IHRA with my some divisional stuff with my Chevy too, with moderate success. I never won anything, but we went rounds and we were competitive. But I mean, I was a super stock guy even before we started modified racing. But my dad loved open wheel stuff. He always, you know, he wanted dragsters and alters. That was his love. So I mean, I drove.
He's got to be the only person in the world who's like loves. I see that picture, right, of him, and Tyler has the same picture of him in that dragster. You know, most people are like, oh, dragsters are whatever. Like no one, like they like Top Fuel, but they're never like, I love open wheeled stuff. That's awesome that he loved that.
I didn't know that.
He didn't. I don't know if it was because they were obviously really easy to work on. They were really easy to build.
Yeah, he was probably like, damn, I'm tired of bending over these fucking bricks. This thing, at least I get this motor and tranny out of this son of a bitch.
I mean, but my heroes around here were I mean, Bill Felker, Jesse Ballou, Doug McMacken, hell, Paul Decker, Ricky's Decker's dad, Donnie Daniels, Mike Farrell, you know, Conway Witten, you know, those guys were, I mean,
Combo was a huge deal at Ohio Valley and obviously at Hardinsburg. I know, talking to TC and those guys, they used to kind of make that loop, right? They would run Hardinsburg Friday, Ohio Valley Saturday, Bowling Green on Sunday. And combo, obviously, there's just a ton of guys. Like, combos can live here because there's so many guys that, like, still do it, right? And so...
Did you know that Herb McCandless raced at Hardinsburg?
Herb McCandless?
Charlie,
really?
Yeah, so Charlie Evans was telling me that a couple weeks ago. He worked the water box there, like in the late 60s, early 70s. But that whole Hemi group,
that's
like
cool.
McCandless and all the other names he said that I didn't recognize, but I know McCandless. Like, it was like all those Hemi guys came from ran Hardinsburg and like did a loop, but and ran that whole time.
Yeah, the combo deal at Ohio Valley just drew me to super stock racing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You could. I mean, it was every Saturday night. They ran combo like bracket one, like.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and I mean they have 30 cars, and it was tough. I mean, when you hear other stories about, hey, if you can win here, you can win anywhere. But
yeah.
I mean, it was that way.
Yeah, it was a lot like. I'm a big video game guy, right? So, like, when you're beating the bosses, you had to start with the lowest Morris, and then you just got 6 rounds of Morrises, and if you could beat a Morris, you could win.
Both Steve and Ricky were both racing.
Yeah, Decker, Rick. I mean, that's the thing that's I think is so crazy is the amount of second gen and third gen guys around the Ohio Valley. I use Ohio Valley as a whole, right? Multiple states, Evansville, the whole deal. That Ohio Valley area. The third, that second and third generation of racers. So when you moved into NHRA, what was your first, obviously you just ran Superstock. Did you just start going to divisionals and stuff, but what was your first national event that you ran in NHRA?
Probably Columbus.
Hell yeah.
And, the first one I ever raced might have been the U.S. Nationals. We didn't go to a lot of national events.
I gotcha.
Tyler,
look it up. Look up Chuck Bohannon on Drag Race Central.
Close. It's 2000, I think.
All right.
Yeah, probably 2000 with my Corvette.
Oh,
and
sick.
My Corvette was a flaming pile of shit as far as a race car goes. I learned how to hold, and I learned how to drive the finish line because of how big of a piece of shit that car was when it was new. I mean, I carried like a 1290 Junior dragster. And it was that bad.
I love that.
But it got better. But I parked that car for a while. We built the truck. We built the 67 Camaro, and that's when I got more competitive. Those were really good race cars. I had won one NHRA divisional event in my life. I think I made it to 5 cars, and a win would have put me on the bye to the final. I think at one time I counted it 9 times, and I choked all 9 times. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's amazing. I think that's the thing that we, me and Tyler talk about this like ad nauseum. And I think, when I made it to my first final, Tyler's like, I know it feels like you'll never get there again. Right. And I'm like, damn, that is like my worst. Like, and then that is the hardest part about this shit. I don't think people quite understand. It's like it is fleeting.
Second one's harder than the first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. This whole thing is fleeting and all that. I love that. Tyler, if you can find some results of Chuck's first couple nationals and divisionals, I'd like to see those.
Joey and I took the Corvette, and he took the truck, I think, to Atlanta.
Oh, sick.
And
Okay.
Fletcher beat me in the quarterfinals. I remember it because I beat Lynn Ellison the round before.
Sick.
I wore his ass out.
Lynn got that ass wore out. I love it.
He told me exactly how to beat Fletcher, and I did everything wrong, and he was right.
Hey, Lynn gets it, man. I would love to have I would love to hear Lynn's stories as well. We talk about the guys that that we look up to. He's one of those ones that you're just like, damn, he's really done it all from top dragster all the way to super street. He has done it all.
Lynn is like trying to pick the right person, but like he's kind of like John Daly versus Tiger Woods, right? Like he's John, like he is
John Daly. That's a great way to put it.
Talent.
Yeah,
he's got so much pure talent. He don't have to get, like he's never gave a shit.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's a great analogy.
I love that.
And then you got guys like Santangelo
that
just
It's a
or
machine.
me,
It's
I
like
feel
they were built out. And we'll talk a little. I do want to talk about like old school versus new school too. Before I go too far off the rails, Matt. Shout out to Matt. Also, these are two great questions. And if you guys have questions, let us know in the chat because we've got time here to talk with Chuck. First, Matt, great. He says, growing up watching Combo at the Valley could have been like a national event. How many U.S. national winners have come out of that? And I would say probably a handful. I mean,
it's Ryan Hag, Todd France, Nick Morris, myself, TC Morris, Matt Morris, Jeremy Duncan's a runner-up.
Who's the guy with the gold Camaro that won last year?
Donnie Beeler.
Donnie Beeler, yeah.
Dave Walter.
Yeah, Dave beat Scotty Richardson. I went on a tangent after Tyler sent me the videos the other night, and I'm just like clicking through YouTube that has the sportsman stuff. Super awesome to see. Yeah, 90. Dude, it was awesome to see. That whole thing was really cool. Herbie Knoll. Yeah,
Todd's actually won it twice.
Yeah, crazy. Josh Decker, another one. Decker just won.
So at least 10 or 11 guys.
There's definitely 10. Man.
Think about that, man. A 10-pack worth of racers from one racetrack have won the U.S. Nationals. I don't think that there's another racetrack. And those guys call Ohio Valley home. We're not talking about guys that like, oh, they've raced here. We're talking about guys that call Ohio Valley home racetrack. There's not another racetrack in America that has produced that many U.S. Nationals winners. I'd be willing to bet. If I was a betting man, I would probably take those. Like
we tried to figure out at one time. Me and him talked about it, like how many national events had been won.
Yeah,
just national events in general.
Yeah,
we were over 50.
That's crazy to think about, man. That's awesome. And this is another question from Matt. Awesome question because I asked Tyler the same thing. Where is the truck now?
Dylan Biondo, the black one that he's driving at the the East Coast stuff. Yeah, so that's we sold it to a guy in California, Mike Hennessy, John Hennessy.
Okay.
The Hennessy Camaro that Mandela drives.
Oh,
that was his too.
Very cool.
Yeah, and he had the truck for a little bit. Didn't race it much, I don't think.
He did not. John owned a parking garage at L.A. International Airport.
Don't got to do nothing else.
Yeah. But
what do you do for a living? I park cars. That's incredible.
He sold to Domino, I think, but Domino had a S10 burn in a trailer or something.
Yeah. Okay.
They wanted another one, so they bought this one, and it stayed painted the same until a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's I asked Tyler the same thing just because watching the videos were so cool, and I was like, damn, I wish we could get that truck back. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so as we talk about a little bit, obviously, what's your favorite car overall? Obviously, there are some people here who don't know you, and they've probably seen it online, but I know it's my favorite car. I'm assuming it's your favorite, but what is your favorite car of all time that you've driven or owned or have now?
Obviously, my vet. There is no close second. Once you get to second, they line up pretty close. But
yeah.
I'll always, especially now that it's my dream car now. I got my stick. It's just fun, and it is. I mean, it's a horrible super stock car.
I don't know. I quite enjoy watching it.
I mean, it's for a while it was great. I mean,
yeah.
I won Classic 2 or 3 years in a row with it, 7, 8, 9, and the LT ones came along and
ruined the class for everybody. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it happens.
I still got one on the LT one.
Yeah. Your bullshit. Hold on, your combo is one of those ones they go to Indy and we're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes.
Well, it ain't even that. I picked an LT one with the Corvette one time.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's all I needed.
Well, I mean, there might be a luckier round one somewhere down the line, but I don't remember it right now. But the Corvette's obviously number one, and
it's very
down
cool.
the line from that. Tyler Chevy too that he got back. The fact that was my first super stock car, that having that car back is incredible. I love it.
That's
the
awesome.
girls' cars. There's so many. I mean, my 69 American.
Yeah.
That Carl Martel has now. I'd have that car back in an instant. If I'd be disappointed if he ever wanted to get rid of that car and then call me first.
Yeah.
Redmore 55. I'd have to put the 55 second on the list, and then Tyler Chevy too. My brother's 67.
Well, you guys have only had to build that thing twice, so I get why you.
Well, the resurrection of that car,
Yeah.
The fact that my dad, my brother, and I built that car the first time, and Tyler destroyed it.
Yeah, that's
And we
okay.
did all
Look
over.
at it now. We're back.
Well,
baby.
I mentioned that earlier. All the bad memory. Even a bad memory at the racetrack
Has
over the
turned
years,
into
we
good
we
ones.
think turned that into a great thing, and bringing that car back out, and competing with it again.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's like Brian loves to tell the story about crashing the Camaro because one of the guys cleaning the track up or whatever, lays the car's still upside down, and he lays the broom that he had in his hand against the quarter panel. And my dad instantly walks over and takes the broom off the car and puts it on the wall. Hey dog, this thing's fucking dope.
It's the best. Yeah.
My brother, the car was still upside down. He had just cleared it. And my brother calls me. He says, "I don't care if you leave it sitting upside down. Just tell me my nephew's fine." I said, "He's fine, and I'm pretty sure I can fix it." And it took a long time, but 9 years later, it's
back,
it's
and
too
it's
nice
a bad
to race.
bitch, dude. I get it. It's a show car now. It's a show car with all that chrome.
Though Joey gives me so much shit for how I crashed it, but that's probably my all-time favorite story.
Man, it has turned into one of the best. That was such a crazy weekend.
Joey did it once too and got close, but they were at Music City.
Oh
And
my
Joey
gosh.
stabbed the brakes one time, and he about got killed.
That was the only time I had to get in between my dad and my brother at Music City. But I had my Chevy too. Music City used to run combo.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Friday or Saturday night. The guys that used to race down there. Jimmy Bridges.
Dude, all these guys
There's
that are
so
still here.
many,
Kenny, Terry Nolan, all them
Ken
guys.
Scheffler,
Yeah.
Terry Nolan,
Yep.
Lynn and Rick Young. Incredible list of people that used to race down there. But we went down to run combo, both cars. I run the Chevy too. I turn around, I come back, and I'm sitting at the finish line to watch my brother. He comes through the lights, and he, four-wheel lambs, all four wheels, freaking smoking. He dug in so hard, the K member hit the racetrack. Sparks were bouncing down the racetrack behind him. He got it so good, and I fire up, get my ticket, go back to the trailer.
He
Dad,
won the round.
yeah, he wins. I'm like, I get back to the trailer and Dad's throwing stuff in, getting stuff ready. I said, "What's wrong? We won." He said, "Joey blew it up. We got to go home." I said, "No, he didn't. He just hit the brakes real hard." We're going home anyway. Joey gets back to the trailer, and I got to get in between those two. And he goes on and gets runner-up that night. So
That's pretty cool. That was in Joe, and Joey, he drove that Camaro. That was the 67.
The third gen.
Oh, this was the third gen. Okay, this was the third gen.
FGT.
What is, obviously we'll talk about Indy, winning Indy, but do you have a loss? I like to ask this to the racers too, because I think I have a few that kind of stuff. But do you have any losses that have stuck with you over the years that you think about? Not to train you, but
I got two. Yeah, well, I got three really.
Okay.
The first semifinal that I lost at Indy, I was two up front. The carburetor floods over, does something. I won the 800s above, and Brandon Wilkinson beats me by 100th. Mike Mans breaks his transmission on the starting line in the final, and Brandon Wilkinson wins Superstock. So that was 07. 4 years after I won it the first time.
Okay.
The year Jimmy DeFrank got his Indy win. I don't remember what year that was.
It was 2010, and let me set this up. We beat Billy Lever, Sal Biondo, Anthony Bertazzi. We are rolling fucking through them, okay? And it's like we're playing the race out 3 hours before. We already know how it's going to go. Yeah. And he is just mowing.
I had Matt Sunday night. I had Matt, and he red lighted. Matt Forbes, he red lighted, and I showed it to him. I was packing a 10th. I was a 10th under. I wore Bill Lieber out. I wore Sal out.
Getting chased.
I love it.
Running left lane. And then I got 100th on Irvin in the semifinals and take 300s and lose.
Yeah, we are just blowing through them, taking nothing, and then we get Irvin, we take 35 under 7,000.
Yeah, under 7,000. And I think he spotted me like 2 or 3 tenths. I mean, it was.
It was the easiest race that he had.
And I was 2. I have been in the semi 8.
Yep.
Yeah, I was 8. I've been in the semifinals with the U.S. Nationals 3 times. I was 2, 2, and 8, and I blew 2 of them.
Holy mackerel! That is what. That's fair. So those kind of stick with you. I get that. That
and
makes
then
sense.
The third one, I did have a third one. I at the All Stars one year, I made the All Stars, and I had, I don't know, same thing. I think I had 7 or 8 out front, and took 30, and.
Best draw in the field. Good driver, but best draw.
You don't get a good draw in the All-Stars, but when you look at, I mean, Justin Jenkins was in there that year.
Joey was like coming on to the mat.
Yeah,
okay.
Joey won. I mean, and yeah, I had a looking over my shoulder in the right lane. I took 30 and lost it.
Damn. That's a tough. That's fair. I get them. Like I said, I have a few that have lived in my brain. I never let live down. Dylan Mudd makes a great point. Matt, I think we need to try and see if we can get Chuck in your altered. I would love to see Chuck run comp right now, but look, brother, I'm not a small guy. I'm not small. I don't know if I could get. I understand that Matt Forbes is 7 foot tall, right? I get that, but. There's no way I'm getting in that altered. I don't think Chuck's getting. No offense, Chuck, but I don't think you're getting in that altered either, my guy. We could try to shoehorn you. I love that. All right, tell me. Let's talk about the U.S. Nationals win. Obviously, I played it in the video earlier. Very emotional, but that's got to be probably your favorite win overall. Just tell us what the atmosphere is like on a Monday, and what that final was like for you.
You cut out, but I'm assuming you were talking about Indy.
Yeah.
Did I cut out? I'm sorry. My thing went out. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, my light went down.
Obviously, Indy's on top of the win list, and it was. I was oblivious. I mean, it was a blur, and my particular win was on a rainout. I forget which hurricane came through the weekend of the actual race, but they ran it the following weekend.
Oh,
and,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and I forget how the days went. Obviously, it was still broke up, but they didn't run the whole thing in one day. But it was, that last day, you got to turn on 3 win lights. And I had J.R. Lambert, a good friend, and on the first run, we both missed our dial in, and I had, 4 or 5 thou up front. It was a really good race. I had Chuck Gallagher in the semis, who was a former Indy winner at the time, beat me on the tree. I was 11. I was 11 and beat on the tree.
11 and left second.
Yeah, and he flies around me. He was running A modified, and he made it pretty easy. I just stopped, and and like I said, it's oblivious. I mean, I didn't even really think about or realize what I had won until weeks after, when you get the phone calls and people congratulate you, and you see guys at the race, and win an Indy for your first ever national event. It was really cool. But I put my second win. I'll put it almost equal to Indy, if not more equal to Indy. Was my 25K win at the TV race, the class race. I mean, the biggest reason, my brother was there, my whole family, my wife, all 3 kids, Megan. It was great.
That was obviously such a huge deal too, because you did it in the Corvette.
Yeah.
So that obviously that makes a big difference too. What's it like now? Obviously, like there's so many. You've raced forever, but what's it like now? I know you said it at the beginning, watching them race. But what's it like having 3 kids that race? I mean, outside of the tab at Jeff Taylor performance. What's it like, being able to have 3 kids that like doing, not only, it's not just that they do it, but it's that they like doing it. Obviously, Tyler has taken it to a whole nother level. But what's it like having 3 kids that race and enjoying it, doing it together?
It's incredible. I mean, I'm blessed. The fact that all 3 of them love it, that they want to be a part of it. It's, the Jeff Taylor tab doesn't compare to the TB Promotions tab.
Man, I can only imagine.
It's incredible. People ask me, the money you spend on drag racing is stupid. There's no other word that you could use to describe it. There's nothing. I say it all the time. Financially, it is the dumbest decision you could ever make in your life is to be a part of drag racing. But at the same time, I have memories that can't be bought. I wouldn't sell them for any amount of money.
Yeah, I don't think people get that part of it, right? They don't understand it unless you're in it, right? Being able to get to hang out and watch, seeing Kayla go rounds or seeing Abby go rounds, like we all get excited about that too, right? I mean, I get excited seeing Tyler knows, like I watch, if he's racing, I'm watching, that's from a friend perspective, right? Like I can only imagine as a dad, getting to see that too. And like, not only the hard work that you put in, but that they put in to be there too. It's like, obviously you're doing the work on the cars, but they're not like leaving you hanging, right? You know what I mean? It's a family thing, as a whole, which I think is really cool too. Plus you have 3 cool hot rods too, right? Obviously Kayla has, the coolest one of the bunch. Abby's a close second and Tyler's are, not his, so I don't have to worry about this, but,
obviously Tyler has taken it somewhere else and, well beyond. I mean, he outgrew me several years ago and what I was able to do for him. I mean, Tyler's on his own now. Everything he does in racing, he supports himself. The girls are, I guess, my reward now, getting to watch them race.
That's the trade. You got to trade Tyler for them two, which has been awesome because they break a lot less shit than Tyler.
I'll never forget the day. Like the day I told him, I was like, he said, I can't pay you as much money as I'm paying you to work the amount of hours you're working. And I said, well, I ain't working no more hours for the money you're paying me. So I'm just going to go racing.
I love
he's
that.
Like, you're more than welcome to go racing, but you got to pay for it. I was like, damn, all right, we'll figure this out. And it went on. But it was like a hard stuff. I still used this, it's always, you could use my stuff. But I'm done putting the bill for it, and that's how it started.
Well, I mean, you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, the girls improve every time they go to the racetrack. I mean, and I've worked very hard to make their cars, as good as I can get them, and all of the wins that I had over the years, they really don't compare to being able to stand behind the cars and watch the kids race. I love it.
Yeah, that's
love watching Todd win as many times. I mean, it's been I tell everybody, the girls actually got me a shirt for Father's Day that said, my girls really don't really win much, but they sure are a lot of fun to race with.
Yeah.
And I wear it proudly.
Hey, I think there's nobody better on the starting line than Chuck Bohannon. When Tyler Bohannon went, I mean, I was there for the first national win with Tyler. I've been there for a few that you've been there for. So there's nobody that gets as excited as Chuck Bohannon when another Bohannon turns on a win light. And I think that just is like the coolest part. We talk about that constantly, right? Like when we were in the tower watching. It's the same thing with Mitch, right? We had that conversation with Mitch. Is like, that's exciting as a car owner and being a part of that team and seeing that. Like, that's the part that I love, like from a spectator perspective, and like being a part of the other stuff in drag racing. Like, that's a cool part for me, is like it is not a team sport in the sense of like building a team, but it is a team sport that makes this thing go. And it's even better when your team obviously is your family, which I think is really cool too.
That's probably like the team part of it now. Like, I want to go racing with my friends or whatever it is, because it's just the way that I've always done it.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, even at the lowest point of like people going to the racetrack, it was still me and Dad.
Right.
You know, I tried to go as much as I could, and you know, it's just always kind of been that way for me. I think that's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Mitch was a great interview, by the way.
Hey man, we love.
You know,
we're big Mitch Clary fans over here.
Yeah, he showed me a lot about himself that I didn't realize. You know, he has a lot of passion for it as well, and I bring that up because I felt blessed that I only had to follow Brian Whitworth, but Brian Whitworth had to follow Mitch Clary.
Hey man, B-Dub is a tough act to follow, but you're right. Having to follow Mitch is a tougher one. All right, well let's talk about. Oh, go ahead, Tyler.
Thing there, PJ.
Yeah.
With Dylan's comment in 18 and 19, Tyler would say as we pull through the gate, we got to win so we can get feeling well. I have a confession to make. Yes, that was true, but what nobody knew except me and my mother is that my mother made me keep. I had one of Dad's credit cards that she didn't tell Dad about, so that if I did run out of money, I could get them.
Hey, that's a good way to be. You know, AJ Ash tells that story. Like he would show up to a race and had already wrote the check at the gate, but like had to win to make sure the check would clear. Like,
Hell yeah.
I mean, you just gotta love. You just gotta love to see it. I think that's a part of drag racing. All right, I think obviously we could talk to Chuck about all this all day long, but what we really want to talk about, I want to know if Tyler has read. We are getting into it. Indy class, AFHS is in effect, and Class Racer is ablaze, full of. Look, I'm gonna give my opinion. Y'all know more about this than I do.
Oh, I didn't even read it after you told me. So
bro, you should. I did tell Ty, and I said to Tyler this. Read this about 30 minutes before the show so you're nice and fired up because you are not going to enjoy reading these comments. I will say this, and I'll give my point, and then we'll, Chuck, I'll ask you about this because obviously, like you said, you've been a class guy forever. From an outsider's perspective, I know that our goal within stock and super stock is to make these specific combinations run faster, and we work hard at making them run faster, and we do this stuff to get there. However, the class part of it, for me, I have won a class trophy, which is unbelievable. In the history of the world, no one would have believed it. If you had said PJ Fouts has won a class race, people would have been like, that didn't happen. That just didn't. There's no one else showed up. So I'm never going to be fast. I don't care to like spend money to pick up a tent. That's not my thing. I enjoy the cars and I enjoy the combinations, but I don't want to spend a bunch of money to run fast one time. That doesn't make sense to me. Right. Now,
I'm not reading this. I ain't reading this.
Yeah, you don't. Hold on. That's what I'm telling you. So I'm saying, from my perspective, as a racer that runs class, I appreciate Indy class. I appreciate all the class. I love that you guys can go fast. However, I've always said this: you being faster than me does not mean you can drive better than me. I am of that agreement always. I've always said that. Now, I do think that Indy, I wish that Indy class was whatever they wanted. However, I do appreciate that NHRA made that decision, and like there's some combos that could use a hit. I understand you guys have been protecting. We spent our money and we've been protecting it. Okay. Well, you spent all this money to go fast, you're not going to swing that dick? That seems odd to me. That seems like a lot of bitch asses. If you really had it, like that, you would swing it and show it. But you don't have it like that because you want to protect. And this is not anybody that says this is an investment, it is not an investment. Investments are meant to go up. Your value is never going up. It just is what it is. And like
you spent $100,000 to make something worth $50. And if you blast it off 130 under, it's worth 35. So who gives a fuck?
Right, you're already out 50. You might as well be out 60. And that's where my point. So my whole thing is, I appreciate everyone's like, this is ruining the class. I'm not going anymore. Cool, bro. Let me know when you're out so I can enter. Okay? Because if it's only going to take 60 to get in, I might be able to make it happen. I might be able to figure out how to get in. You know what I'm saying? So like, my whole thing is, are you going to race or not? Like, that's where I'm at with it. Are you going to race or not? So all that to say, it is a large topic. Everybody has their thoughts. But Chuck, from an old school class racer, but obviously from the modified side, like you said, like your dad was like, hey, I want to swing dick here, right? If AFHS was in thing and he was like, hey, it's on, we got to, is he still going to swing it to get it? Or is he going to be like, no, we'll lay back here?
I don't think anybody's just going to throw money away. And,
sure,
you know, if there was only 2 cars on the sheet last year that went 130 under, I think there were more cars there that could go 130 under. But I mean, I don't like the automatic horsepower factoring system in general.
Sure.
When it was first introduced, I had the Corvette and it in C or D automatic, and there were cars that outrun me by half a second. You know, that was 20 years ago, and there's still cars that can outrun that car by half a second in the same class.
Right.
So it had enough shit.
Yeah.
All it's done, and I'm going to pick. I'm not. I don't want. So to me, and just my education on it, the most obvious combination is the LT1, the late model LT1. I mean, that group of guys are very, very intelligent about
protecting
AHFS,
yeah.
drag racing, you know, using the system to protect their combination. And my hats off to them. You know, a lot of those guys are very good friends of mine, and I don't even like using that combination as an example because of that, but it is the one that I'm most familiar with.
Sure.
You know, before AHFS, there was common sense. Guys like Travis Miller, Danny Gracia, you know, Wesley, Jim Collins, you know, those guys, they knew, you know, before that combination even hit the racetrack, that it needed horsepower.
Yeah.
And there was common sense involved, and they would get it. And I don't know that part's been lost, you know.
And that's been and that's a great point, right? From an outside, from a tech perspective, and that, like, not tech necessarily, but just from that, like, competition perspective, NHRA has lessened. It's 100%, right? Because they'll tell you, like, I've made the joke about Travis giving me a hard time the first time I show up to Chicago. I don't have a hood ornament on the front panel. I've got the ornament, but the front, like, you know, branding, I couldn't find one. And he's like, man, 10 years ago we'd have thrown you out. And I was like, okay, do you want me to like, I was like blown away by that. I didn't understand it. And as I talk to more and more, I race with these class guys a lot more and all this stuff, I 100% get it. It's not there anymore. Like, that stuff that's not there. That, like, competition committee type of thing where they could know that about a combination and about, like, that doesn't exist anymore. You're right. It is lost 100%. Travis can't do it himself, right?
It's like 1 week of watching it go down the fucking racetrack and you can figure it out.
Yeah. And, you know, the thing about, and I don't necessarily think those combinations need to have horsepower added to them, but the combinations that have been beat on since 1964 up until then, you know, put them back where they belong.
What if you did a deal where it resets every 10 years?
It's a good idea. Every time a new generation of car comes out, you have to reassess the others. So, like, you're on the 5th gen, right? You're on 5th gen Camaros, right? Or 6th gen technically. So you would reassess the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd gens or whatever it may be, right? Like, how that goes. Like, there's some sort of
lifting their chops at that. That's actually the correct way to do it. So, but if they continue to make, but a lot of these cars are discontinued.
No, that's what I'm saying, right? But there still needs to be a 10-year reset.
Well, you could do it where, like, any generation of car gets added to the guy.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a common thing.
Sure.
You know, there's a way to do that where you could just reset everybody. It's still not going to be like the Corvette's still not going to be faster than an LT1, but at least, like, you know, you got some room there.
Yeah. Right now it's 4 or 5 tenths apart. Not. It could be closer to a 10th.
At the point that you give me a full reset and I get my ass kicked by half a second, like, that is 100% on me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's me 100%. Like, that's going to be me. That's all. And so I'm cool with that too. Like, whatever. I don't. Sometimes I just wait for other people to do the work for me and be like, oh man, I got 3 horsepower. I got 100 pounds back. Hell yeah. Holler at your boy. This sounds great. I think that's the big thing. And let me read this really quick from Jerry Emmons. And Jerry said it was cool if I read this on the pod. He said, I asked him specifically, you know, what are your thoughts? He's a fast car, whether he likes you to believe that or not. Jerry Emmons is fast. Okay. He says, I saw the post. I'm 50-50 and I'm split exactly down the middle. And I'll tell you why. I'm the guy that wants to be 5 cars back from the burnout, and Jim Boudreau is running down there, and I get to see his scoreboard light up with what he just ran all the way to the floor. That does something to me, and it gets me excited because he's the guy we're all chasing. However, I do understand that we need this to be in place to correct the bogus combos. If it's not allowed at Indy, then it's never going to 100% work. But me being the purist I am, I want to see the gold digger hold it down so I know what I have to do to get close to him. Yes, I can look at my phone on live timing and figure it out, but it's not the same as seeing it light up on the Indy scoreboard. And I think that that is a great way to put it too. I love these. My thing is like, if you get hit, let's say you go one. Okay, so Matt's a perfect example. Went 137 under and love not having a AFHS. With that, if you go 137 under, what are they going to hit you with? 3 horsepower, 5 horsepower, maybe?
No, it's big. I mean, it's 100 pounds.
Okay.
If you go 130 under, it's a big number. I don't know what the actual percentage is.
So let's call it 100 pounds. Let's just say it's 100 pounds. Let's call it 100 pounds. Damn, so you can still go 127 under? Fuck you. I can't go 127 under. What kind of bullshit? You know what I'm saying? You still go 127 under? Fuck all that. You know what I mean? Sorry if your kids are listening, I apologize, but
you're right. I mean, some of these comments, I don't know how many Copos, Cobra Jets, and drag packs, can go that fast, but it's probably a big number. And they've been whittling at those now for 10 years, decade, and there's so many different combinations that they can put in those cars. And the guys that want to go fast, they'll beat one up and change the pistons, and they're a different combination now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We had a motor in the 3rd gen, and me and Dad still not sure we completely understand it, but I could have changed. I could have went 150 under in J automatic.
I remember this. I remember this. This was when you were hella fast, and Moorhead was outran you, right?
I went 140. I went 137 under at Indy and got gapped a 10th and a half. Yes.
Oh, Cower? Was that Cower or Moorhead?
Zaval.
Okay, Zaval. Got it. Okay.
And so, but the next week I could have came back claiming a different year and changed nothing and been right back to where I was supposed to be. And then the next week changed pistons and been right back to fresh again.
Yeah.
These guys, some of them have options, some of them don't. The one thing that I definitely didn't like, and if you believe this, y'all can all go kiss my ass. There was a couple of comments I saw, well, the AHFS should be in effect, but not during class. Fuck y'all, okay? Because all you're doing, the only time you're going to see me with a capable car going 130 under and actually do it is for a national event win, or for a win of a race.
Sure.
So you're gonna screw the guys that actually are caring about the reason you're here. Class is if they take away Superstar, class don't stick around, guys.
It's a flawed system. I think everybody can agree with that. But the deal with Indy this year, I would have to be. I don't know if so at the beginning of the year, have they, I don't know how many years now has Indy been no AHFS? 5, 6, 7? I don't know.
They never made the announcement. So I did read this. They didn't make the announcement until late, but it was in the announcement this year was the announcement this year was 2 weeks was 2 weeks later than it had been. So that cutoff for people entering Indy, that was the whole thing people were upset about.
But at the beginning of the year, did they say that Indy's not going to have?
No, because they don't announce it. They don't announce it.
Yeah, so,
it's a preconceived notion by everybody.
Yeah, well, so you got to assume that it's going to be in effect.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, anyway, because all the racers are supposed to have it, so they're making an announcement. If they make an announcement, they shouldn't have to say anything.
Right.
You show up, it's in effect.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is trying to figure that out. And Tyler, I think you were probably more upset. Not upset. I think you were more passionate is the right word. It's not upset. You were passionate about it because you thought, just kind of give us some clarity of what your thoughts are on people complaining about it. Because obviously me and you're a purist. At heart, you are a purist of Superstock. You're not like me. I'm not like a true purist where I'm like, I get excited about, I love the combos, but I really just think the cars are much cooler than every other class. That's really why I love super stock and stock. Like, just think the cars are cooler. But like, you're like a true purist in the combo sense. Like, you know the shit about the combos and all that stuff. So like, what is your, bring some clarity to the folks who might not have read, you know, what you're talking about.
At the end of the day, what pissed me off is simple. These guys are on the internet saying exactly this. The AHFS being in effect at the U.S. Nationals makes the U.S. Nationals just another race. That's
a
bullshit
bullshit statement.
Yeah.
And I agree with Tyler completely. I mean, you know, there are a lot of guys who, you know, class at Indy is now just another race. But that's a big deal to a lot of people. I mean,
but it's still Indy class, and like, Indy's been around 70 something,
70 plus years almost. 60. It's like 68 or 9 or something.
Now the AHFS came in, whatever year the AHFS came in, and it's still been there more than it's not. And Indy mattered before. They gave it to you one time, you expect it all the time.
Right.
Suck it up. You know, at the end of the day, do I like the AHFS? No. Would I rather somebody just use their fucking brain and put these combos where they're supposed to be? 100%. But like, it is the only way of policing it. And if you're going to use it at 21 other races, you got to use it here. And it's still Indy. Like, honestly, to me, it makes it matter more. Like, if you want to win, you got it. Like, you're going to get a bite out of yourself for it. Period.
Yeah, and you know, the thing about it, it's flawed, but it's where, I mean, the Travis Millers and the Collins and the Wesleys and the Danny Gracias, those guys, there's not a lot of them around anymore. And they have to have some kind of a system in place that's going to help anybody who tries to fill those shoes.
Yeah,
you know, do that job.
I mean, honestly, AHFS ain't the answer because it's hard.
And that's a good question. So, what do you think is what do you think is an alternative? Doesn't have to be better, and it doesn't have to be well thought out. But like, what's an alternative that you guys have thought about the combos? Because like, how do you police a Camaro that comes out next year, right? Let's just say, and there's 7 motors with them. Like, am I dependent on, now Chevrolet's a huge NHRA proponent. So Chevrolet, help us out. Tell me what we need to know about these things. Is that what we do? Or do we reach out to Ford? Does Mopar, like, what is an alternative?
I don't know. I mean, you got to have it's going to take somebody like an Andrew Hill, who studies that stuff and knows it, not just Chevrolets, but Chryslers and Fords, and you know, and who would, first of all, they got to want to be that person that goes in and tries to sort all of it out and get it figured out, and somebody got to pay them to do it, you know.
Well, Andrew's a guy that, like, IHRA called, when Doug called me to ask me, who knows Stock Super Shop? Who can I call? I only got one person. It is
right.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Now Andrew's got 2 kids, 18 careers, 7 college degrees, 87 things going on. He can't do it. But
a comp car.
In a comp car.
Below 40 that knows it as well as he does.
Yeah. And it's tough. And, you know, in 1987, when I started racing, it wasn't tough because, I mean, nothing had. Well, I mean, you only got 20 years of combinations. And 90% of them are 350s, quadrijet, 50, 295, 67.
Yeah, fuel injection really screwed everything up.
It made it more difficult, and you know, like the Copos and the Cobra Jets and the drag packs now. I mean, you've got another 40 years of combinations. So I mean, it's vast.
I will say this:
it's a huge task.
I guess the way that if there was like an idea, set everything back to the original factory, right? Like anything. Oh well, here's what I would do it. Anything.
No, wait, hold on. I'm at 217. I don't want to go back to 220. I'm cool at 217.
Well, you know, there's guys that would get screwed on that too.
I wouldn't add them. Anything that has added horsepower.
Oh, sure.
That is 20. Like I said, I would pick a year, 2000. Anything pre-2000. Goes back to original unless it's going up, right? Like leave it down. Obviously, it's slow if it needs something.
Right. Thank you.
But like then let's see, or just pick a year. I don't even think 2000 covers it, to be honest with you. But it's just like, I think you pick a year, you put everybody back to where they're supposed to be, minus the guys like you. And
well, that's a good, hold on. So think about that. So Ricky Decker's got an LT1, right? He's in super stock automatic, right? LT1. And he can probably go, what, 110, 20, probably 120 under, 125, right?
Ricky can go 140 under.
Oh,
probably.
okay.
Yeah, obviously air affects everything, but it is a very fast
so let's
car.
let's call it 130. And his is like, the LT1 has been hit technically, right? I mean, it's a good, what, 30?
It's 4 horsepower above factory.
4 horsepower above factory?
275 is factory. It's a 279.
Oh, yeah. They got to get hit. They need to be at least 300.
It's not
I think that's a good point. I don't know.
Intelligent drag racers doing that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I really don't know.
One of them for a national event, that bitch ain't getting hit.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, I do think, like I said, it's an interesting topic, and I saw online. I will say, if you guys are not classracer.com, take a peek at it. There's some comments in there, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't quite understand, again, because I'm not ever fast. And I've told Tyler this too. Don't let me be fast, because I'm the type of guy to buy something that is fast, tag that some bitch, you didn't like it, I'll hit it again. I do not care. I don't get it. So, like, I understand why people protect it and all those things. But like I said, it's an interesting topic for everybody to kind of sift through. If you have any interest in class at all, it's definitely a look through.
Matt Forbes is 100% correct, though. And this is in the back of my head the entire time we're having this conversation. Ain't none of this shit we're talking about matter if they don't incentivize going fast other places other than Indy and make it like the AHFS would work if they incentivize going fast, but they don't.
Hey man, Billy Carroll does. Billy Carroll's if you win class, Billy Carroll send you a check for $300.
Trust me, I talked to him on the phone last week about it. He's great, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, but I don't blame these guys for not.
100%. I don't think companies are going to do that to a certain extent too, because it's not the same. We're just in a different ball game.
Yeah. Wise, get contingency back in the class, maybe.
Right, $50 a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you charge an extra entry fee for class so you can do that?
I don't know why they don't. Anyway,
they already are. Aren't they charging you $500 to get into Indy?
No, it's $380 or $400.
No,
it's like $50 for a normal race.
Okay, so there's your $50. Like Chuck said, $50
I think that's just because it's Indy. They charge that across the board.
So why don't we do that? You know what I think we should do is we'll put a pot in for everybody. You have to pay regardless of, we'll do it like, hey, just you got to pre-enter at the gate and the racers handle it. If everybody wants to go fast and do all that stuff and swing it. I just think, like I said, it's a whole the whole conversation is way outside of my purview of understanding. So Dad's Chevy 2 is at 307 for reference, and Ricky's is still that low. I agree. Thank you, Bryce. That's what I'm saying. I'm at, you know what I mean? Tag those guys a little more. They need a little more weight. All right, Chuck. It's been great. Now you get the chance to ask us something. Obviously, you got Tyler here, and you know Tyler, better than anybody, and you know me pretty close, more than a lot of people. You get to ask us something, man. What is there anything you want to ask me or Tyler or the show? This is your chance now. You've been a great guest.
I got my opinion. I got my opinion of this, but I mean, overall, what's your all's feelings about the state of drag racing right now? Overall, I love it. I'll start by saying I think it's great. Tyler and I talk about this all the time, but if you want a big money bracket race, you can go do that twice a month. If you want to go class race, divisionally, nationally, whatever, you could do that 2 or 3 times a month. If you want to race for $5,000, you could do that 2 or 3 times a month. If you want to race for $10,000, you can do it 2 or 3 times a month. If you want to go no prep race, you could do it. I think it's great. And I just, whatever. What do you guys think?
I think, and I'll tell you this. I think it is as positive as it is in the sense of like there's so many things spread out. There are less racetracks. That's just a known thing. Because the technology, those racetracks from back in the day don't allow, they're not prepared for that. There's not that many facilities that can handle some of the things. So I do think it's positive for that. The one thing I think is there's a little too spread out to meet some demands. So I think having an index class every 0.2 is weird. Why do we need a 550 and a 570? Why do we need a 6 flat and a 620 or whatever? Maybe I think some of that stuff's a little too much. But I get why they do it, right? Because it does bring some people in. I do think, though, from a content creation perspective, NHRA is doing the worst job of it. And that's not knocking them. It's just that everybody else is doing a much better job at content creation to show drag racing out there. That's why people want to know why people go to No Prep and they like Street Outlaws. The content's available for them, and it's.
And the other thing here too is that they're giving you the same 4 classes that they've given you since 1972.
Yeah, 1,000%. But I think, like I said, all that to say is I think drag racing is in a great spot. Look at the guy, like we just talked about this John Dock guy buying Darlington. Like, how long ago were racers, content creators buying racetracks like Cletus? Like, that's happening now. Like, these people are buying they're making enough money off YouTube to buy racetracks. And I think that that's positive, man. I think racing is a lot better off. There are certain things, obviously, that I wish were, I don't think everybody should be a race promoter. I think you should have some self-awareness that not everybody needs to be. I'm not a race promoter for a reason. I think that's why you see races pop up and then next year they're not back and things like that. But otherwise, I think it's better than it's probably, when I was everyone's like, oh, the good old days. And it's like, man, it was the good old days because I got to race with my dad and my mom and we got to hang out and I got to go and it was awesome. But racing is as good now as it's ever been, and I'm enjoying it as much now as I ever have been. I don't know about you, Tyler. What about you?
Same. I think it's great. The reason you talked about it being spread out, I agree with that 100%. And I wonder if we weren't so spread out, would it seem more like, because the only difference between, like, we have a lot, I think racing's in a better spot now than it was in the 90s, but there was a lot more dollars, like actual marketing dollars, able to push into it, like, and it funneled down.
Yeah, I think there was a lot more outside back then. Now it's all racing. Racing companies are keeping racing alive. There's the outside is almost like non-existent, right? There is no Winston, there is no Budweiser, there is no Coors Light.
Well, you say that, and you're kind of right, but 20 years ago, I mean, did anybody even think that there could be a motorsports insurance company?
100%. You're right. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
That's 20 years ago, could 2 20-year-old kids promote 4 races a year? 2 jackasses,
100%.
I should say. And
that's true.
Just,
that's why I think it's good. I think that
go. And I like I said, I think it's good. I think about, the people like Troy and Shayna Stone. What they've done at Vintage is, in my opinion, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great company. The Tedesco's Fuel Factory,
Yeah, the families that have built these businesses out of racing and even expand outside of just drag racing is incredible. Like you said, Fuel Factory, cars, when they were doing that, right, with Tedesco's, you look at Vintage. I mean, I'm willing to bet Troy Stone's, I just watched, he runnered up in Indy. I saw that. He turned it red and runnered up in Indy and Supercomp. And I was like, he didn't even have Vintage trailer on the side of his car at that time. So I'm like, damn, how, like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, look at their business now outside. That's 100% fair. There's guys that come in, but those are the people that are in the sport. Yeah, Mosier's a perfect example too. And that's a positive thing too. And I've said this to Tyler. If we could look at how NASCAR provides their sponsors value. I don't know if it is venture capital or what. Like, I never thought I'd see a Brestree health thing on a race car, right? I never in my lifetime did I think I was going to see that on a NASCAR car. I'm like, wait a second, they're out here, prescription drugs are on the side of. You mean to tell me we can't get like an insulin company on the side? Look, bro, Dexcom, holler at your boy, right? I could use some free monitors. I'll put you on the side of my race car. You know what I mean? Diabetes is up, baby. Help me out. That's the only thing I think, and I agree with Tyler on that part of it. I wish we could get a little outside of just racer people into the sport and see how that's valuable. But overall, that's a great question. Matt,
But definitely on the record, and I believe that it's on us and everybody in the sport to figure that out. It ain't on, it ain't.
No, 100%. We've talked about that too. Yeah.
How to do it.
I think that's the big part of it, right? We talked about this with. I'll leave this point. Tony Stewart was able to get on Pat McAfee's show. Pat McAfee's show is based in Indianapolis, but it took Tony Stewart coming to get on Pat McAfee's show. And I commented, and I've said this before on the show, that like, damn, it took Tony Stewart doing, and people took offense. Like we reached out, and it's like, yeah, you're not bringing obviously I understand Tony Stewart's slightly more valuable than some of the other teams, but you mean to tell me we couldn't have figured something else? I don't know. Anyway, that's a song for another time, but I do want to ask this question. Matt, we're going to leave with Matt's question last. He says, before we end, Chuck needs to tell us about Tyler holding a second and giving it back in a junior dragster. He's heard Tyler's side, and we need to know Chuck's story.
He wasn't holding shit. I think I had him dialed fairly honest.
Which one? You talking about Morgan?
It's Morgan Morris.
I was holding the opposite.
Whatever.
No, you're right. You're right. I wasn't.
Yeah. So Ohio Valley on a Saturday night. I think it's probably first round, but Morgan's and Demp, they're having trouble with the car. It's running all over the place, right? So Tyler, I dial him fairly honest. Morgan leaves. He's 790 racing then. So she leaves. It goes about 60 foot and pretty much dies. He takes off and just lines it up with her. And she's popping and cracking, and he's easing down the track next to her. And he gives it back 1/10 out. 2.5 seconds above his dial in. And and I can see this coming. I'm standing on the starting line for 11 seconds. He's going to give it back. He's going to give it back.
Chuck is madder than hell.
So I seen it coming all the way, and I'm boiling going down the track.
We left Bristol at 10 p.m. and drove all night home.
Yeah, he got his ass kicked there too. We're on the way. I'm get on the golf cart, and as I'm heading down, I could see him and Brian outside the. He's out of the car. Brian's on the other side of the car, and they're giggling like two little girls. I mean, they're just giggling. Oh, look what I did! Wasn't this cool? Did you hear that? I was wearing it out, but yeah, I heard it all. I slid up, told him to push that piece of shit back to the trailer and load it up. We fought for the next 20 minutes, settled down, and I bought him back, and I think we went on to get runner up or something. But yeah, he gave it back 1/10 out, 2.5 seconds above the dial in.
I tell this to Eli Wiggins the other day. I said, dude, when are you ever behind up front? Oh, not very often. Then stop getting behind at the finish line. Okay, I'm begging you. Just get in front. Every time I tell you, I got behind. Why? For what reason? Who are you trying to impress? Ain't nobody down there at the finish line watching your dumb ass. Don't nobody give a shit. This ain't live time.
My junior days was like the era of everybody in Superstock fucking stopping.
Oh, okay.
If you crossed first in Superstock, you lost was like the mindset I had listening to everybody. So I was bound to I'd stop and get behind.
So hold on. So your thought process is, hey, this person's obviously broke, and I still need to get behind.
No. That was just
think about that. Think about that mindset. You dumbass.
No, that was just I'm gonna take 00 because it looks easy and it's not.
My God.
I would get behind all the time, and that pissed him off worse than anything.
I tell my dad that. My dad's always like, why? I've gotten behind very rarely. I'm not a big, I'll take enough, 100%. I'm taking it because I just automatically assume I'm better than the other person up front. That is my first assumption always. Hey, I killed this guy on the tree. Doesn't matter. I'm getting there first, okay? And so anytime I do get behind, my dad's he would be like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, I didn't mean to. It's not like I did this shit on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Damn. That's good shit. I love that.
But you did.
Yeah, I did. I didn't mean to. I did it on accident. Yeah. Well, it'd be like that.
Well, that was the Fletcher rule for a long time. Everybody was trying to beat Dan Fletcher. I mean, if you can take a foot, you do, and if you can't, you give them 10.
That's pretty good. See, we should have printed that on a shirt.
Yeah,
that's what we ought to do. You either get there by a foot or feed them 10. I love to see it.
That was how Dad tried to teach Irvin Johns how his finish line goes.
Yeah, Irvin would tell me that all the time. Well, yeah.
Hey, a foot. Yeah, but look, man, at 100 at 140 mile an hour, a foot looks like 10 feet. You know what I mean? Damn, I'd have swore that some bitch was right next to me. Time slip says otherwise, my friend. I love that. Well, Chuck, thank you so much for joining us, man. This has been our obviously our most live viewed episode. We appreciate everybody joining. Chuck, it is also your birthday coming up, so man, so happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks for having me too.
No, thank you for joining us. Tyler came up with the idea, and I love that. I wish you guys luck at Stanton. Obviously, I can't wait to hear the stories of who kills who, and it's obviously like Homer and Bart. I'm just picturing Tyler getting choked up, right, and his tongue's hanging out of his face because you got him by both hands in the air. I wish you guys luck, man. Thank you guys. Thanks everyone for joining us. We will be back next week. I am headed to Boise to race this weekend for Night of Fire. Actually, I think they just call it Night Fire there. There's no of. So I'm headed out there. Shout out to Will Carnell, who gave me a drag stick. I can't believe this. I'm flying across the country to race the race car. That's awesome. That's what I love most about drag. You want to talk about how good drag racing is? It's that, would we have ever had friends that you could just be like, hey man, I need a car to drive at this race. Is there an opportunity I could do that and make it happen? I think that's the best part. So yeah, man, good luck at Stanton. Maybe I'll turn on some wind lights at Boise, and we'll do it all next week as we get ready again. The East Coast Twin 50s are next weekend. Don't forget racederbycity.com. I think there's less than 30 entries available. So if you're looking for one, get in while you fit in. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you guys for joining us. Until next time.